Hi Aquarius, how are you? I'm doing your December love tarot card reading, okay? The first card that I have for you is the Princess of Gems, and this is the card of the ingenue. So the story behind this card, I don't pull this card that often. So it's a story about a princess who enjoys being outdoors, like she likes odd things that maybe other people don't like. So people may think she's naive or something like that. That's the story that goes with the card. So she's not about city life. She's more about nature. Maybe she might do something weird like play in the dirt or just do weird things. Or say, what's wrong with her? Well, she just likes earthy, natural things like stones and animals. And so anyway, I was saying that to say maybe perhaps you're in a mindset where you want to do your own thing, whether people like it or not. You're like, I like to do this, and it doesn't matter if you want me to do something else. I'm going to do what I need to do. So let's see. Let's see, is there anything else? Also, okay, so your career could be revolving around something outdoorsy in nature, and you could also meet a love interest in that career, whatever that you are so interested in, because it gets a little bit deeper than that, because the next card behind it is the Nine of Wings card, and this is the card of obsession. So it's either that you're obsessed with being in a natural environment and there's something you really like, whether it's your career or something like that. Like say for instance, if you work at a zoo or something, like it's something, it's either that you're obsessed with something that's very natural and earthy, or that this ingenue person is a person that you're dating. Okay, you could be dating a person who's really, really down to earth, and they like enjoy being outdoors. Maybe they have a pet, they're always outside with their pet, or they like to garden or something to that effect. So either you're obsessed with this person who likes natural things in a country type setting, or what is it? Or this is your energy. Okay? So, but regardless, something is an obsession. So it's either your job or a person, okay? Now, when I went through the cards, it seems like it's a person. So it seemed like the ingenue is a person that Aquarius is dating. And then the Aquarian is obsessed with the person. And then what happens next is that we have the Two of Gems card. This was the damage card, so don't stare too hard. This change card here is saying that instead of you being obsessed with the person or the job, there's a change to the situation, okay? And I think it's saying like you might be thinking about juggling two things. So it could be both. It could be that you have a job that you love and it's earth-like, it's like down to earth. It's about natural nature, different things like that. Like maybe you sell gemstones or, something to that effect. And then you could also have a person in your life who's down to earth also, and you could be obsessed with both, but there's a change going on. So there's one thing you're obsessed with, and then there's another thing coming in. So if it's another person, the next card is the Queen of Wings card, and this is the card of the analyst. So this queen, she is divorced. She's really independent. She's kind of conservative. So the ingenue is about like just being a free thinking person and being very, very unique. May not so much eccentric, but just being unique. Well, this queen, she's more conservative and she's really picky. She wants everything to be tidy. So I don't think this queen would enjoy being outside. So if you are juggling two different people, they're like totally different. Like one is like really, really I wouldn't say uppity because she's not about her wealth necessarily. She is more about information and tidiness, and let me see. She wants a person who's honest and straightforward. That's this person, this queen, as opposed to this Princess of Gems here. She's really, so it's kind of almost like from a young person, a young woman, versus the energy of an older person who is who knows herself more. She has been through life situations and she understands like what she will and will not tolerate. She'd rather be by herself. This queen, She'd rather be by herself than to tolerate someone who is not going to be truthful or, just a person who just is not together, okay? So this queen knows what she wants. So this could be a transition in energy. So say, for instance, Aquarian, you're dating this ingenue here, okay? You're dating her. And then there's a change to her personality, okay? And then she becomes very, very conservative. So maybe she gets a job. Maybe she was just relaxing and hanging out with her friends because she was young. And then maybe she goes to college. And this would not happen in 1 month. But if this is a change in personality, this could be related to astrological shifts. Because I notice a lot of times when I'm shuffling cards, sometimes cards do fall sideways and different things for the past, just say 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes, so I notice we're going through these shifts in our energy. So that would be a very strong shift if that is the same person with different energies, okay? That could happen. I'm not sure. Because the ingenue, she could have been outside and enjoying herself outside for some particular reason. Like, say for instance, you had to transplant some plants for a certain period of time because it's getting cold outside. So you had to be outside and hanging out in the dirt to do a job that you had to do, but then you had to go back to your regular work. So maybe that the ingenue was on vacation and that was her mindset. Like, let me just chill out, I'm on vacation, So it could be one person's energy. So anyway, so I'm going to continue the story. What I think is going on is it is one person's energy, okay? It could be possible that the Aquarian is dating 2 different people, but it could also be possible that it's one person's energy. And when we go down the storyline, I'm going to tell you why, okay? So this card here is the High Priestess. The High Priestess card is a card of intuition. So the Aquarian is using his or her, it might seem like this is a story of a guy, but I'm not sure because it doesn't have to be everybody's storyline. You just apply it however it fits. So the Aquarian is using his, I'll just say his intuition to figure out, what do I want to do? Do I want to choose person A? Do I want to choose person B? Or when we follow the storyline, look at this. This is the 10 of Gems, and this is a card of protection. And so the reason why I think that this is the same person is because this protection card, it means that this protection card means that you're trying to lock down a relationship. You're trying to secure a person to you. And it's a person who's been around you for a long time. It's like a secure foundation for this relationship. And if you went from person A to person B so quickly, you couldn't have a secure foundation unless that was your friend. So say, for instance, you're dating this ingenue here, and then for some reason, I don't know if you had an obsession with someone else, like you could have had an obsession with this Queen of Wings or something like that. But anyway, the whole point is if there were 2 different people, you knew both of them already. One of them you were already dating, like the initial ingenue. And then the other one, you had to have known her already, because in order for this card to pop up, because it's the person you know long term. It took me a long time to get through this far, okay? So basically what I'm just saying is that you've been in a relationship with someone for a good amount of time. It could have been a friendship that's developing into a relationship, but I highly doubt it. I'm just thinking it's the same person's energy that's transitioning over into some more mature energy. And as you're seeing that, you used your intuition to say, you know what, I like this change that I see in you. Now you're a good wife material or something to that effect. That's what I picked up so far. So the next card here is Strength. So let's see. The Strength card is about conquering your obsession maybe with your love interest. So I'm not sure. It could have been that you're dating this person and she was not mature enough for you. That even makes more sense, okay? But you had some obsession with a friend of yours, right? And then that's how it all happened. So the friend of yours that you had an obsession with could have been this Queen of Wings, okay? So basically, you had to be strong enough to admit to someone how you really felt. And as you did that, you made a change. And then you said, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with you. I really want us to be more secure, more committed to each other. Something to that effect. So, anyway, you had strength. You overcame a situation. The strength card is also about wisdom. Okay, because there's a little infinity sign on her cap here. This is the strength is about wisdom. So it's kind of like the high priestess is about wisdom. The strength card is about wisdom too, because you learned how to overcome something. Because see, it's about understanding. So anyway, so you're starting to understand yourself, Aquarian. And then the next card here is the Ace of Wings. So this is a congratulations to you because you're understanding yourself. You're understanding what you need and what you desire, and that's a very good thing. And this card, the Triumph card, is about continuing in that thought process. So if you're being wise and becoming more mature, then that's very good, okay? So the next card here is the Fool card. And the Fool card is about taking a leap of faith. It's about building trust, okay? Trust is the word associated with it. So I found this interesting. The next card here is the Temperance card in the reverse, and it's about patience. So I would think it's just about not wanting to be patient and being impulsive. That wasn't the point of the card. The point of this Temperance card in the reverse for this storyline, it seems like it is about the little thing that people do when they want to know, would this person make a good spouse or partner for me? And then they start investigating and trying to figure out what are your habits, what are you about when nobody's watching. And so then we have this card here. This is the Princess of Wings. This is the Messenger card in the reverse. And so I'm not sure if I explained this card first. Hold on one second. This card, I'm not sure if I explained it. So basically, the Trust card here, you're taking a leap of faith because you want to put your trust in this new partner. If it's a new partner, the Queen of Wings. So this Fool card is like you're trying to figure out, should you trust this person or not? And so you're basically kind of spying on your new person to see if she has the qualities that you want in a wife, because apparently that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about building a long-term partnership with this person. And so this Messenger card in the reverse, this card is about, okay, so let me turn this upright for a second. This is the Princess of Wings, okay? And so when it's in the reverse, she is actually a little bit immature. And so she is not doing things so well. So if you're investigating your partner, I'm guessing that it's the Queen of Wings, but I'm not sure. But it looks like in this storyline, you may be with a person who's divorced and independent and probably conservative, and she likes tidiness, that type of thing. So anyway, but when you're investigating this person, it seems like you're not finding what you're looking for, because you're seeing that this person is not really got it together the way that you want it to be. And so let me see, what is the next card? So you want things to be a certain way, and you and your partner don't see things eye to eye at the moment. So the Ten of Wings card, sorry for the noise. The Ten of Wings card here is about difficulty. So you guys are possibly communicating like, how do you want me to spread the bed? Or how do you want me to do the dishes? I don't know what you're fussing about, but there are things in the female's life that the male the Aquarian may be having issues with. So you guys are discussing, well, I want you to do it like this, or, something to that effect. And one more thing, this card is about if you are if you are paying attention to every little detail, and when you're checking out your partner, you're saying, you have to be exactly how I want you to be. I'm going to micromanage you. And if you're not exactly how I want you to be, I'm going to dismiss you because you're not what I want. If you're thinking with that type of mindset, you might lose out on a good partner. That's what this card is about in the reverse. So the card that we were on here is difficulty. So you guys are working that issue out and trying to figure out, okay, let's do this way. This works better. I appreciate it if you could do this way, okay? I don't really approve of that type of behavior where like, you're like investigating someone and trying to figure out if you like the person, but like maybe you're invading their privacy to some degree. I'm not too much into that. But so anyway, like I said, difficulty. You guys, if you were wanting to secure a future with this person, the Fool card, remember, was about having some faith, right? Sometimes we don't know everything about a person, and sometimes maybe you might know too much, and then it might turn you off from a good partner, right? From a partner that's probably good for you. But maybe, again, if you want to micromanage, maybe you might lose the opportunity and maybe regret it later. So you guys finally come out, I guess, feeling each other, respecting each other. The Four of Roses card is about like marriage. Because you've known this person for so long, you two have enough respect for each other and you have enough trust in your relationship that you think it'll work out for a good amount of time. So this is about a relationship that is built on strong foundations and it can withstand the test of time in a marriage. So this is a good card to get, okay? So let's see how it works out though, because not just say for instance, if you're seeing this tarot card reading, it doesn't mean your situation is going to work out in the same way, because part of living our life, we have free will. And so we don't always know what's going to happen. Like the tarot might just give you an idea, maybe if you're worried about something or if there was something that you did not understand. So it looks like there's supposed to be a happy marriage, but you don't know that with surety, okay? So you don't make life decisions based on a tarot card reading, okay? So the next card is the Nine of Roses, and this is a card about habits. So you guys are thinking about, because the respect card here could be engagement or marriage. So let's see. So here you guys are developing habits to building a life together. So say for instance, you're building a schedule like, hey honey, let's go out for dinner together. Let's I guess spend family time together at this time on this day. You're doing things that produce a happy family life together or a married life together. You might also be getting ready to put on a dress, or your partner may be getting ready to put on a wedding dress. So maybe a habit that you may want to start is by eating certain foods versus not eating other foods. So you're eating like an apple as opposed to a piece of cake or something like that. So you may be changing your habits and your mindset. So say for instance, if you're the guy and you stay out and party a lot, or you go out clubbing, you may be changing that habit to one that is of a married man or an engaged man. So the next card though is the Tower card. So I'm not sure what odd situation is coming up that's putting you two in a crisis situation, because it seemed like we were doing well so far and it seems like the odds were in our favor, but for some reason now we're unsure of where we're going and what we're doing, because for some reason maybe everything falls apart, okay? And maybe you didn't have any control over the situation. So the next card here is the Seven of Roses card. So the good thing is that in spite of the fact that it doesn't seem like things are going your way, you and or your partner are having the courage to deal with the situation, I guess, logically. And so you're working really hard to make your relationship work, okay? So I guess whatever issues that you guys are having, you're trying to work through them, because so far the issues that were coming up don't seem like they're major issues, because I don't see anything major going on. It might maybe be an immaturity issue, because remember we started off as the ingenue first and then became more mature in mindset, the partner who is going to get married or who is your partner. And so maybe really and truly the person is not fully mature, and that might be the issue that's causing a crisis. Okay, so let me see the next card. See, we had courage already. So the Two of Wings is a card about balance. So this card means that you two do figure out how to make it work. You figure out how to balance your schedule. You figure out how to eat properly for the clothes you want to wear. You figure out, you know, those little details that you guys didn't agree on. Maybe you don't agree on what color you should paint the walls, or, you know, you could be having all kinds of issues. And to you guys, it might make a big, you know, upsetting situation, but it could be something minor, because I didn't see anything major to point out. So you're giving your situation time to heal. So I don't know if you guys like take a little minute break from each other or something, or you're not fussing about the new issues. Like, okay, when you're planning a wedding, you could be fussing about the details of the wedding. So if that was the issue that you two are disagreeing about, you're giving it a break for the moment, and you're letting the situation air out so it's not a problem. This card indicates that you might take a vacation, and on top of it, the card next to it also is given the same indication. So there's the Six of Wings card here, and there's the Passage card here, okay? So let me see. So this Passage card is very similar to the Balance card that we just had, except for the Passage card is definitely about taking a trip. So the previous card is kind of hinting that you're probably needing time away. So this, I'm almost sure that this is not all happening in the same month unless you had a courthouse wedding. So let me see. If you did have a courthouse wedding, I'm not sure what the big... This could be what happened. Because mind you, you have this young woman and she's in her own world and she's probably happy in her own world. And again, someone, is probably you, Aquarius, is so obsessed with the person. You're like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Let's go get married. That could be exactly what happened. Because to me, what I see is, so that could be the change. Who knows? That could have been the change. And then as your wife or partner comes toward you as the mature person, you know, but in this case, technically, this is a divorced woman. So maybe it's a woman who already had a relationship before. I'm not sure. So, but down here where we are, we're at this passage, the Passage and the Balance. It really doesn't have to be like a honeymoon. It doesn't have to be. Let me look. If I saw privacy, then I would know that. Okay, it doesn't really have to be a honeymoon, but it could be. Okay? You could just be taking a trip because you know that you're upset with each other. It could be actually a separate trip, because the Balance is about getting yourself balanced. So what if this is the Aquarian taking a trip because you want to cool off, you don't want to fuss, you don't want to fight. So you could have taken a trip to kind of give the situation a minute so you can clear your mind and not fuss and argue. Okay? Or you could have went to a relative's house to stay for the weekend or something like that. I don't know. But this passage trip, when you guys go, you don't have to go together on this trip. You could go separate, but if you go on this trip, you could also find someone, like a new love interest. So I'm going to state one more thing. This Respect card means that you guys have a likelihood to have a good, solid relationship and a happy marriage, but it doesn't necessarily say that you did get married this month, and it doesn't necessarily say that you'll definitely have a long-standing relationship, okay? So you guys have to apply this however it resonates with you, okay? So what happens here, because like I said, this is a good card, but you can't base your relationship choices on this one card, because as you're looking here, you're seeing things are not as perfect as that card might indicate, because the next card that we have here is the Eight of Roses in the reverse. This is a signals card. So it's like when I call you, you don't answer. When you text me, I didn't get it, or I blocked you and that's why I can't get your text. And so you're not sending messages of love and they're getting through. And so the final card here for the Aquarian reading is the Princess of Roses in the reverse. And this is a card of the adventurer, okay? And what this means, what I think this means is that the partner, the ingenue here, this ingenue here, she was simplistic in nature. It doesn't mean that she wasn't intelligent. It just meant she was happy in her own world, and her own world maybe didn't include a cell phone, and you know, maybe it didn't include modern things. Like maybe this girl was just happy, you know, with her pets or something to that effect, okay? And so it seemed like she matured. Because say, for instance, if there was a marriage and it changed her energy, she matured, but then living together, because I think I didn't mention something. You guys could have started to live together at the, let me see. On this row here, you guys could have started to live together. It could have been the respect card here. The respect, it didn't have to be a marriage. It could have been that you guys wanted to live together, okay? But there's something, I think when you start investigating this person, it kind of causes a lot of drama. And that's what I'm saying, if you try to micromanage your love relationship or your partner to say you have to be this perfect person, you can possibly lose a good person. This is where things started to go upside down, is here. And that might be literal. This was the first reversed card, okay? So what I'm just saying is that apparently the young woman here wasn't maybe mature enough to, if this was a marriage, it just didn't work out, you know? Whether you guys lived together, you got engaged, or something to that effect, because this last card is probably the energy of the ingenue, the same young woman at the top, the young princess. It's the same energy, but she has a whole nother mindset. Number one, she's upside down. She's reversed, okay? So this is the adventurer, and in the reverse, she is jumping from relationship to relationship. She is being immature. She's just going too fast, and she is not being settled in her energy. So, I'm not sure why all of this happened, but that's life. Like, we go through life in different days, different ways, you know?